Hello everyone, welcome back to your tough reading comprehension class. This is your book 1, basic book, and this is chapter 7, and this is one of the problems, problem number 3. Okay, it seems like this passage is about different kinds of foods under different cultures. Can you see what kind of foods these are? The first one looks like mandu. Do you think? What about the second one? Second one looks like 족발 or kimbap. I can tell by looking at the picture, but okay, here it says 불고기 tacos and kalbi burritos. Oh, I see. Because we are not familiar with the shape of the foods, because those are Mexican foods. One is tacos, one is burritos. That's why I was confused. But it seems like it says 불고기 tacos and kalbi burritos. What will be the difference? Let's find it out by reading through this passage. What does this menu means? Okay? So let's find out what kind of bulgogi tacos is and kalbi burrito is. Okay? Good. So the passage starts saying Korean culture and Mexican culture, it has its own special kind of food. What does it mean? 자, Korean culture and Mexican culture, 한국의 문화와 멕시코의 문화는 each has 각각이 뭘 가지고 있다는 거. What does it have? Its own special kind of food. 무슨 말입니까? 그 각각의 자기 자신만의 특별한 종류의 음식을 가지고 있답니다. As you may understand that we have very particular and very popular nowadays kinds of foods. 그죠? Korean like foods, not as much, as much as the Korean popular music, it got really popular. So let's find out what kind of special food of each culture actually has. So the second sentence says, but lately cooks are combining the two foods together. 자, lately, what does it mean? 요즘에, recently 이 말입니다. Nowadays, 자, cooks are combining the two foods together. 자, I don't know what kind of cooks are, but cooks are 요리사죠, 그죠? Are combining 그럼 무슨 말입니까? Combining 그러면 put things together 이 말이죠, 그죠? 그래서 더하고 있답니다. 무엇을? The two foods together. What are the foods? The two foods. One is Korean food. Another one is Mexican food. So chefs are combining those two Korean and Mexican foods together. 그죠? 그래서 두 가지를 합치고 있답니다. 그래서 만들어진 게 it seems like 불고기 tacos and 갈비 burritos. 그죠? 자, the idea of Korean Mexican food was started by two cooks who sold street food in Los Angeles. 자, 그래서 the idea of Korean Mexican food 무슨 말입니까? The combined food style under two different cultures, one is Korean and one is Mexico 이 말이죠, 그죠? 그래서 한국과 멕시코의 음식을, 그죠? 한국과 멕시코 음식, 그 Korean Mexican 그러면 combination of Korean and Mexican food 이 말이죠, 그죠? 그래서 대신 넣은 겁니다. 그래서 한국과 멕시코의 혼합된 음식의 그 아이디어, 생각은 was started by, 누구의? by 이하에 의해서 was started, 시작되었다 이 말입니다. 그죠? by two cooks, what kind of cooks? who sold street food in Los Angeles of United States. You know where the Los Angeles is located, right? That's one of the city of the United States. It's like second biggest in the United States. It's located on the western side of the western seaboard of the United States. 그죠? 미국 서부 해안에 자리 잡고 있는. Actually, Los Angeles is also famous for having a lot of Korean immigrants. 한국에 많은 이민자들이 살고 있어서 또한 유명한 곳입니다. 그죠? 그래서 로스앤젤레스에 있는 그죠? 로스앤젤레스 뭐 하는 sold street food. Street food, what kind of food would that be? Those of the food sold on street side. 그죠? 그래서 길거리에서 팔리는 음식을 만드는, 길거리에서 먹는 음식을 파는 two cooks, 두 명의 요리사에 의해서 started by, 시작되었답니다. 그죠? So the combination movement, so to say, was started by Korean Mexican food chefs who sold their Korean Mexican combination foods in Los Angeles of the United States. I think you heard about, heard about the chefs. I think I heard about it from the news of the United States. So let's get into the next sentence. They made Mexican food like tacos and burritos and filled them with Korean food like bulgogi and galbi. So this sentence is actually explaining about these two pictures why those two different cultures foods such as 불고기 and 갈비 are combined with the tacos and burritos. 그죠? 그래서 who are they, by the way? Actually, they refers to the two cooks actually who sold street food in Los Angeles. 그죠? Who actually started the movement of combining the two different cultures of foods of the one of the Korean and the one of Mexico. 이 말이죠. 그죠? 그래서 they made, 그들이 만든답니다. 뭘 만들었냐면, 만들었었다 이 말이죠. Actually, it happened in the past. 이 말이죠. Mexican food. 멕시코 음식을 만들었답니다. Actually, it says even 불고기, but actually the food is tacos. 그죠? 그래서 you can say this is a Mexican, but actually the inside of the filling is Korean, but the way it looks and the actual foods are, I think you can call it as a Mexican, because it's tacos. 그죠? 그래서 갈비가 들어가긴 하나, burritos. 그죠? 그래서 burritos and tacos are Mexican, so you can say these are Mexican foods, but it has inner side of the filling. 안에 채워진 내용물이 are Korean foods. 이렇게 되는 겁니다. 그죠? 그래서 멕시코 음식을 만들었는데 뭐와 같은 멕시코 음식입니까? Like tacos and burritos. 타코와 버리또 같은, 그죠? 그래서 타코 같은 경우는 여러분 뭡니까? 조금 이렇게 딱딱한 비스켓 같은 건데 세모 형태로 생겨가지고 여러분 if you go to the supermarket or any convenience store, you can easily find taco snacks, 그죠? 근데 이게 찍어 먹는 거고, 버리또 같은 건 뭡니까? It's like a thin flour skin, and you wrap it like a kimbap, but actually inside usually it has like vegetables and meats of different sorts, but at this time it has a galbi meat in the inside, 그죠? Marinated galbi meat. Gotta be good. 그 다음에 fill them with Korean food like 불고기 and 갈비. 그 다음에 그 음식안을, 어떤 음식안을? 타코와 브리또와 같은 그런 멕시코 음식안을 fill 됐다는 말은 채웠다는 말입니다. 그래서 그 them이라는 거는 tacos and burritos refers to, 그죠? 그래서 이런 것들 refer 하는 겁니다. 가리키는 거죠, 그죠? 그래서 그 안을 갖다가 fill tacos and burritos with Korean food like 불고기 and 갈비. 불고기와 갈비와 같은 한국 음식들로 채운 그런 멕시코 음식을 those two chefs actually sold Korean Mexican food in Los Angeles. They came up with an idea. Why don't we fill in the inside of the Mexican food such like tacos and burritos with Korean foods, which got really popular nowadays. 자, 그래서 okay, here's a quotation from the comments by the chef, I think, by the one chef of the two actually chefs, two cooks actually who started this movement. 그죠? People think the combination is strange when they hear about it, said one chef. 자, 그래서 그 요리사 두 명 중에 한 명이 이야기합니다. People think, 사람들이 생각을 어떻게 했냐면, the combination of two different cultures, first like Mexican and Korean, combination of the 불고기 갈비 with the tacos and burritos is strange. 처음에는 이상하다 생각했답니다. 그죠? Can it match well together? 이런 생각했겠죠. Can they match well together? When they hear about it, 뭡니까? The combined food of Mexican and Korean 이 말이겠죠. 그죠? 그 합쳐진 음식에 관해서 그들이 들었을 때 the combination is strange라고 그 사람들이 생각했다는 말입니다. But the chef comments continues. 그죠? But it makes sense. 하지만 어땠다고요? it이 뭐겠습니까? It is the idea of combining the two different cultures food, especially those of the Mexican and Korean, makes sense. 무슨 말입니까? 뭔가 말이 될 것 같아. 먹힐 것 같아. 사람들한테 인기를 얻을 것 같아. 이런 말이죠. Both cultures have food with a lot of spice and flavor. 자, 이 makes sense. 뭔가 말이 될 것 같아. 의미가 맞아. 뭔가 잘 될 것 같아. 그런 이유에 대해서 설명이 나옵니다. Both cultures, those of the Mexican and Korean, have food with a lot of spice and flavor. 이렇기 때문에 이 쿡은 생각에 it makes sense라고 생각한 겁니다. 왜? 그래서 양 문화가 우리나라와 한국과 멕시코의 문화가 have 가지고 있다고 생각했답니다. food 음식을 가지고 있는데 with a lot of spice and flavor. 멕시코 음식 also has a lot of spice and flavor. spice가 뭡니까? 양념이죠, 그죠? 그런 맛을 내는 그런 양념들을 spice라 그럽니다. spicy 그러면 매콤한 거고요. spice 그러면 양념이죠, 그죠? And also flavor. What is flavor? Flavor is like a 냄새, 풍미, 맛이죠, 그죠? Okay, I can have vanilla flavor ice cream with chocolate topping on it. 이런 말 하죠, 그죠? 그래서 그 양 문화의 코리안과 멕시코 음식이 그 문화의 음식이 둘 다 뭘 가지고 있답니다. 뭐 여러 가지 맛과 그죠? 그 다음에 여러 가지 어떤 그런 여러 가지 양념과 여러 가지 flavor 맛을 가지고 있기 때문에 the combination will be coming out very good 이라고 생각해서 the chef thought himself, it made a lot of sense 이렇게 생각한 거죠. He was right. 그 쿡은 was right. 그의 생각이 the idea was right. The combination came out very successful 이 말입니다. 그죠? People loved the different and delicious taste. 그렇게 음식을 만들어 놓았더니 사람들은 loved the different and delicious taste. Those two foods from two different cultures gotta be different. 그죠? But different in a way it came out as delicious. 다르긴 다른데 이게 맛있게 섞인 겁니다. That's why people loved it. That's why it became so successful nowadays. 이 말이죠. This fusion of foods is now very popular in Los Angeles. 그래서 this fusion of foods 무슨 말입니까? 음식을 퓨전했다는 게 무슨 말이죠? 컨비네이션과 같은 말입니다. 퓨즈했다는 거는 무언가가 녹아서 서로 섞인 상태거든요. 그래서 이런 음식들을 퓨전 푸드라고 이야기합니다. 그죠? 왜? 섞인 거니까. 문화가 섞이고 음식의 다른 힌트들이 섞인 거기 때문에 그래서 음식의 이러한 섞임은 is now very popular in Los Angeles. 그죠? 그래서 로스앤젤레스에서 지금 아주 popular 인기가 있답니다. 그죠? 자, let's get into the last paragraph. Okay. Many restaurants serve some type of Korean Mexican food. Oh, no, this is not the last. This is one last before and this is the last. 그래서 많은 레스토랑들이 serve 한다는 게 what does it mean? serve 한다 음식을 제공한다 이 말. provide the foods and services to patrons of the restaurant 이 말입니다. More some type of Korean Mexican food. 그래서 serve the food by many restaurants in Los Angeles or any other parts of the United States. Not exactly something like, 불고기 tacos and galbi burritos, but there's been an effort of combining two different cultures' foods, and it got successful. 그죠? So many restaurants nowadays serve some type of Korean Mexican food. 똑같이 이런 건 아니라도, 그죠? Korean Mexican의 섞인 음식의 some type 그런 무슨 말입니까? 어떤 종류들을 그죠? serve한다, 제공한다 이 말은 똑같지는 않지만 다른 형태들도 역시나 제공하게 되었다 이 말이죠. 왜? It got so popular, so people loved it. And the result came out very good because both culture has, a lot of foods with a different spice and flavor, and the combination came out very successful. 그죠? It came out as different but delicious. That's why people loved it. Okay, the last sentence says, and this food trend is spreading to other cities like New York. So if you see United States, this is very rough drawing of the United States. You may blame my, painting skill, but this is the east side of the United States. This is the west, and Korea is located here. So it started from Los Angeles on the west side of the United States, but it got spread to other cities in the United States. That's what it says, 그죠? So this food trend, the combination of the food of two different cultures, 그 트렌드, 유행 자체가 is spreading to 그러면 to other cities. 다른 도시로 spreading 한다는 것은 퍼져나간다는 거죠. 그죠? spreading 해서 it ultimately reached to the eastern side of the United States where New York City is located at the eastern seaboard of the United States. 그래서 뉴욕과 같은 도시로 퍼져나갔다고 합니다. Okay, I think this was very interesting, very easy to follow topics and passage. How was it? I hope that you read this very hard so you can understand this and before you get into your class, so you master this, so you can be fully ready to have a conversation and getting to know more about this by having discussion with your native teachers in the class. Okay, so I'll continue to talk about this chapter 7 of problem 4 on my following videos. So until then, study hard and I'll be missing you. Bye.